Kelsey. I am the shellfish lady. I'm also I am also rat mom, which is all the noises in the background, and I am always drinking wine.
I'm Alex. I am chemistry and sustainability, the energy. I'm also drinking wine. It's usually gonna be wine. That's all I have in my house at the moment. Maybe something else eventually.
And I'm Carly. I'm the cat mom because I have a cat that stalks people. And I am drinking a Blue Moon.
I'm guessing I'm dog mom then, because we all have different animals right now. I just realized that it's we have a typo on our front side.
I thought you did that on purpose.
No, I didn't.
You mean the history?
I did not do that on purpose.
So what are these memes that you've decorated for us?
Science memes. I have no idea what I'm doing. That's very true. But
You guys are doing a great job at leading this discussion.
You got distracted with the typo. I'm really excited to talk about Phlogiston.
What the fuck is Phlogiston? It honestly sounds like, I don't know, like something in the Middle East.
Phlogiston's my favorite thing ever. So back before they knew how fire worked, people were like, fire has to like burn something up, right? So there must be this like invisible stuff on things that can burn. And that's what like burns, is this invisible made up stuff. And they called it exactly what you would expect something that they completely made up to be called. Phlogiston.
Wait. So they didn't know how fire worked, so they just made up a word that doesn't sound like, that sounds like a fucking country.
Yes, they didn't know how it worked, so they literally just made something up that there was like an invisible thing there that was burning. And then that's how like your fire stops, is when it burns up all of the phlogiston.
I like how humans have kind of come up with stuff just to explain things away, but then when it's like the actual real hard evidence, they have such a hard time dealing with the real life issue.
But I
was saying that we should teach flat earthers about the phlogiston conspiracy.
But to be honest, this is how like 90% of things work. You just make up something until it works.
I'm gonna be teaching my friends about Phlogiston now.
But there's so many things in science though that like people have named like such dumb things. Like my personal favorite, which like I know what they're like, they totally knew what they were doing, is this is like a legit scientific article. They had something with copper nanotubes in it. So the abbreviation copper is Cu, and the abbreviation is NT throughout the entire paper.
Nice.
That was definitely intentional.
That's what I mean. I'm like, you know exactly what you were doing.
I really like the verb form of this. Phlogisticated? Phlogisticated?
Wait, what does that say? No more Phlogiston can be released? Why?
Yes,
because all the air left?
Well, that's what they thought made a fire stop burning, is when it burned up all the phlogiston.
So if I want to tell somebody you're filled with a lot of hot air, should I just be like, you have a lot of phlogiston in you?
Yeah, in reality, it was just oxygen.
Well, that's what I'm going to get into next. Is that they were saying that you burn up the phlogiston and it goes into the air.
Whoa.
And then this guy, Lavoisier, I don't know how to say French.
Lavoisier.
He was like, that doesn't make any sense.
So like the one smart guy. Wait, did he get like crucified or anything?
No, but he burned. So he was like, y'all idiots, there's like an easy way to test this. If you're saying that you're burning something up and it goes into the air, then the thing that you burn should be like less mass than what you started with.
Ooh.
So he burned metal, but then the product that he got was a higher mass. So he was like,
what?
You're not
how I am right now?
Yeah, like you're not burning something up and it's leaving if you're getting something that's heavier afterwards.
That's so interesting. Then
And
what?
that's
Then
how
what? Then what
he
do you take out of
discovered-
it?
That's how he discovered oxygen,
Oh.
which no one knew existed. And
So wait, what actually happens in fire then? Does it like the oxygen leave the actual like just say wood or something?
it reacts. So this is with metals. So the fire will burn with the oxygen, and then the oxygen reacts with the metal, and you get like a metal oxide at the end.
That's why it's heavier, because
That's why it's heavy.
reacting with the oxygen.
Goes to
So it's like
metal.
metal and oxygen at the end.
Oh, that's cool. I'm learning.
This guy, just told everyone how dumb they were for phlogiston, and then found a real thing that he gave a much more reasonable name.
Oh wait, quick question. This has been in my brain for a while since someone mentioned it to me, and I kind of want to prove a point. So, who's more controversial, Ronald Reagan or Tony the Tiger?
Tony the Tiger didn't commit genocide.
Yeah, but like he's taught kids to like actually eat sugary cereals. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Why is Tony the Tiger controversial?
Wasn't there a whole furry thing? with
He's
Tony
Tony the Tiger. I mean, I love him.
Oh,
I have
that
socks
was-
devoted to him,
You
but
could say
the
he's a furry.
controversy was the furries.
Yeah.
wait, what?
I thought the controversy was him catering to furries.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
You thought it was just sugary cereal?
I thought it was just sugary cereals. Because I mean, like obesity is a huge thing in America right now. Okay.
But then why isn't like the
Wait,
Fruit Loops
what?
toucan part of that too?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Okay, we were
Tony
just
the
talking
Tiger
about.
was
We were
flirting
just
with
talking about it
furries.
at work the other day, but it was like Tony the Tiger or Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, he was flirting with furries on Twitter.
Oh shit! I just learned something new.
I didn't know about that specifically either, but like.
But also, it's like you shouldn't like be mean to furries, you know, or whatever the hell they are.
I feel like you also shouldn't sexualize a children's mascot.
This is true. Is
You know,
that my girl, Carrie Curry? Or I mean, Curie?
Marie Curie, also known as the OG girl boss.
Hell yeah.
So she did a bunch of we love.
Well, didn't you? Oh wait, can I say a little bit about her because I actually know something.
Yeah, what do you know?
It's crazy, but didn't she win 2 Nobel Peace Prizes? And she's like one of the only people to actually ever do that. I know she's one of the
Nobel
only few.
science prizes.
Yes.
Whatever.
Nobel
They're all
Prize.
it's all the same shit. You're giving an award out to make people feel special.
She's the only person who's gotten a Nobel Prize in 2 different fields of science.
Yeah, and there's been like over 100 men who have gotten it, and there's only been like what 20 females who have even been considered for it or something like that. Okay, so this brings me to my next argument.
And her daughter got a Nobel Prize.
Oh, what? Amazing. But this brings me to my next argument. Okay. So do you remember Al Gore when he won for his whatever the F that was? Like it was the Green New Deal or something.
Not the
I
Green New
remember
Deal.
Al
He
Gore.
won.
I wasn't alive in the 90s, so
Well, it's also not the Green New Deal because that's a recent thing.
Oh,
And
well, whatever. It was something
Green New
that had
Deal.
to do in 2008. And he was up for a Nobel Peace Prize. He ended up winning, but he shouldn't have won because he was up against a 98-year-old woman named Irina Sendler. Do you know who she is?
Who's more controversial, Tony the Tiger or Al Gore?
That is the question. Al Gore, without a doubt. But do you know who Irina Sendler is?
No.
You told
She
me that.
saved like thousands of Jewish people from the Warsaw Ghetto and like a bunch of children from getting executed and murdered. But no, she didn't win it, and she was like 98 at the time.
So then you can't win it after you're dead.
So fuck the Academy for not considering it.
And she did most of her work with her husband. They actually both won one of the Nobel Prizes. So my favorite thing about her is that we only remember her. No one knows who the fuck her husband was. Let's drink to that.
One of the few occasions where that's true.
Here's just a random collection of theories that you probably heard about from the Big Bang Theory.
I've never seen it.
I unfortunately have seen every episode because it's always on in my fucking
Added
house.
this.
Why, unfortunately?
It's not bad. It's just like the same jokes in every episode after a while.
Yeah, I got sick of it towards the end. I kind of stopped watching it at a certain point.
Okay, so I can only give a brief overview of these things because I don't fucking understand them at all.
Okay.
All
Are you
quantum.
in grad school then?
What?
How are you in grad school then?
I'm not in grad school for quantum physics.
Oh, this is true.
Actually, I might know some of this because I did this in physical chemistry.
Yeah, I didn't. This is not shellfish related, Carly. The uncertainty principle is that you can know how fast something's zooming, or you can know where it is, but you can't know both at the same time. That's all I know about it.
Wait,
Is that
what?
about
You
it?
can know how fast a particle is moving, where it is, but you can't know both at the same time.
Wait, you
like
can't
quantum-
what at the same time?
Can't
You
know
can't-
both things.
Yeah, so you can know how fast something is going, but you won't know where it is, or you can know where it is, but you won't know what speed it's at.
So it's like when you shoot a bullet, but you don't know where it is because it's so fast.
Sure. Yeah, so there's that like fancy math equation that I don't really understand that goes with it.
I see the
I don't-
kitty cat.
I don't know.
The one with the wave things, the one with the thing that looks like a trident, or this one, the one you put there.
What?
Oh, you're talking about the one you put there. 'Cause I was just like, if you're talking about the trident one, I know the trident one.
Oh no, I meant the like H and the thing has a line.
I forget the bar is just taking into account the 2 pi.
Oh.
That's why it's going from over 4
4
pi
pi
to over 2.
2. You just divided it by 2 pi.
Yes, it's just Planck's constant divided by 2 pi.
Oh,
That's
that's not that complicated.
the only difference.
Yeah.
We use it in PChem as like a shorter version.
You want to talk about the kitty cat?
Yeah, I want to talk about the kitty cat.
Have you heard of Schrodinger's cat?
Yeah, I have. And it's like the box or some shit.
Yeah, so you put a cat in a box and wait for it to die. Not
Oh.
really. It's just a thought experiment.
Well,
But-
they wasn't really waiting for it to die in that case. There was like
It's like when it's in there, you don't know if it's dead or alive because the box is closed. So if you don't know, then it's dead and alive.
Well, that's why you puncture a few holes in it.
It's not. Would you stop biting me? What is wrong with you? It has something to do with quantum particles again. Like it's used to like as a metaphor for a principle of quantum mechanics. A cat is not actually dead and alive. It's not like a philosophy thing. It's a quantum mechanics thing.
well, it's more of like a particles can be in a certain spot on a certain spot at the same time, kind of thing. That's
That's a quantum
What it-
mechanics thing.
yeah. I had to take some of this, so I know a little bit. Like in some of the graphs, you might have a jump of where nothing can be. Like I can't think of a good example of a graph, but like I don't know, like if you have this graph and then there's like supposed to be nothing and then something else and there's a gap, at some point something has to be in the middle, but also nothing can be in the middle because there's not a graph there.
Mm.
They at some point they jump. But so I think that's where it comes from. Like I said, that's a bad example of a graph, but like the gist of it came from stuff like that with particles.
I'm not sure why Schrodinger felt like he needed a dead and alive cat to explain that concept, but
Why specifically a cat?
I don't know.
Why couldn't they just like say like a bird or like a frog? I mean, wait, no, I like frogs.
When I looked it up, it's linked to a random subatomic event that may or may not occur. So yeah.
And then did you learn about the Higgs boson, Alex? That's a pretty new one.
I did not.
What the hell is that?
That sounds familiar. But
This was like a huge discovery, like maybe 10 years ago. It was on Big Bang Theory a lot. They called it the God particle.
Ooh.
All I know about it is that it's what gives other quantum particles mass. So there's like it's called a Higgs field, and then it can create a Higgs boson particle, and that like gives electrons mass. I don't understand how it works, so don't ask me.
I don't know anything about that, but
How does it work, Kelsey?
It works like the drawing. See, he's calling the electron fat, and
What's this about?
this is about killing mice. So many mice.
Oh God, don't you have rats?
yes.
Yeah, but they killed mice, so they're chilling. These are all people I named my octopuses after. I have a lot of these guys. This is Oswald.
Are these actual real people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that I was just wondering. I'm just
These
making
are also these are all scientists. All these slides are about a scientist.
Oh, now I'm getting it. All right.
Yes.
We were like how many slides in?
These are all about the scientific people.
You guys were talking about equations. I mean, except for Curie, but
Well, the equation that was all Schrodinger stuff and Heisenberg.
interesting.
Schrodinger and Heisenberg.
A long time ago, Griffith killed these mice. So basically, he wanted to prove that there was some kind of compound that could transfer genetic information between cells. So these first two are just controls. He like put in a like non-deadly bacteria, and the mice obviously lived. And then he put in this virus, and the mice died. And then when he killed the virus and put it in, the mice lived. But when he put in the dead virus, he put in some of the dead virus with the living strain that like wasn't deadly. So like the first one, this blue one, he put in with the like dead red one, and the blue one was suddenly able to kill the mice when it couldn't before.
That's so weird.
So then he was like, it obviously like took something from the dead virus, and like whatever ability it had to kill the mice, like the living one stole it from the dead one.
So what do you learn from that exactly? Like, what's the overall solution?
There was some kind of like compound in viruses and bacteria that can transfer like information, which they later found out was DNA. They didn't know yet that it was DNA, but this was like on the like pathway.
Because viruses inject its DNA into your cells, pretty much.
Oh.
So the boys found out that it was DNA. They killed more mice. They reran the last experiment, but like they did different runs where they put like a different compound in that would kill something. So like they put in something that breaks down proteins and ran it to see if proteins was what was transferring, but it's mice. So it was able to like transfer it without the proteins. And then they put in something that breaks down RNA, and it was still able to do the transfer. And then they put in something that breaks down DNA, and suddenly the mice lived. It couldn't like transfer the information anymore. So then they were like, sick. It's DNA
Cool.
that transfers information. Many mice were harmed in the making of this. So what's everybody's favorite conversation topic right now? It has to do with this guy with the bunnies.
I don't even know who that is.
This is Louis Pasteur. He invented vaccines.
Whoa.
That was relevant. I'm not sure why the picture has him holding bunnies.
God.
From what I know about him, he spent a lot of time killing chickens.
What the fuck? Why would anyone want to kill a fucking chicken?
This guy invented vaccines when he accidentally didn't kill his chickens that he was trying to kill.
Oh my god.
He was studying this like one infection, and then his strain of bacteria kind of like it like spoiled, and half of the bacteria died or got weakened. And chicken killer. Is that what you're like? Chicken murderer?
Chicken murderer.
So he tried to still infect the chickens with it. He wanted to like watch them slowly die of this disease and take notes. Then they didn't die from his like ruined batch of bacteria. And then when he tried to infect them with a new batch, they were immune to it. And his
Oh.
idiot assistant was like, shit, like we gotta get rid of this batch of bacteria, and the chickens, our experiment didn't work. And Pasteur was like, Jeremy, you fucking idiot. You absolute fool. We can sell this shit. So he started specifically trying to like make weakened versions of viruses. I should have said virus, not bacteria. He was working with viruses. So then he started finding like common viruses that affected livestock and specifically creating like weakened versions of them and giving the livestock vaccines so that people's farm animals wouldn't die anymore.
Oh, that's sweet.
And you might be thinking, he didn't invent vaccines. I know about vaccine history. Those farm girls invented smallpox vaccines. If anybody actually knows their vaccine history.
All I've learned from this is that in the midst of him being a chicken serial killer, he found a way to help them out.
Yeah, he actually saved a lot of poor farm animals in the
Even
end.
though he started murdering them unbeknownst to anybody else.
Yeah, anyways, there was a smallpox vaccine before this, but they used like cowpox, which was already a weakened version of smallpox. This was the first guy who found out how to like artificially weaken the virus himself. So he like actually created the vaccine. Thanks, bro. You should all be thanking him at this point in history.
It's got a friend in me. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yes, little bright on map. I'm gonna make it shine. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I can go through the trailer.